The demise of concubine Zhan, the eunuch declared loudly. The sun rose, signaling the end to the long night. However, what did it take to dispel the darkness in her heart? Fate was like an unrestrained wildfire, burning her beyond recognition. Those wishes and expectations for the future were utterly destroyed by this fire, along with all her emotions of weakness, sorrow, benevolence, kindness, and her perceptions towards idealism. She would stand up and protect everything she treasured. If anyone dared to step across her boundaries, she would ensure that they paid a heavy price for it. "Aunt!" The voice of a child sounded out as he leapt into Chu Qiao's embrace. The emperor bawled his eyes out as his cheeks appeared red from all the crying. "Mother is dead! Aunt! Where's Mother is dead?" The child was still young, but he had inherited his handsome features from Xiaoche. She squatted down and embraced the child tightly. Her body was cold, but her heart felt warm. This was Xiaoche's child, his empire, his home. He had watched over her for so many years. It was time for her to reciprocate. Don't be scared. You still have Auntie. Miss. Meixiang stood at the side, holding another child in her arms. Chu Qiao stood up and walked over slowly, realizing that the child was Zhan Ziming's son, Xiao Qingrong. This child, who had been born as the king of Rong, was sleeping soundly, completely oblivious to the storm that his birth had caused. His parents had passed away in succession, leaving this piece of scarred land and a destabilized empire in his hands. "Miss, look at how soundly Third Prince is sleeping." Meixiang had taken an adoration to the child, as she handed the child over to Chu Qiao, laughing. Chu Qiao held him in her arms, waking him up. He yawned impatiently, squinting as he looked at Chu Qiao. He was like a carbon copy of Xiaoche. Tears started to well up in Chu Qiao's eyes. She embraced the child tightly, pressing her cheeks against the child's. A feeling of emptiness started to brew in her heart again. "General, Elder Liu's son, Liu Yuanzong, is standing outside Qinan gates with a group of scholars and officials. They are asking about what happened. Is the emperor all right?" Chu Qiao looked up as she reverted back to her cold expression. She said to He Xiao, "Inform all the elders that the king of Shizheng, Zhan Ziyu, colluded with concubine Zhan to usurp the throne of the late emperor. Empress Yuan died amongst the chaos, while the emperor is all right. The evil people have been eliminated. Tell the elders not to worry as well." He Xiao went about his task swiftly. In a short while, shouts of "Long live!" started to resonate outside the palace gates. A bodyguard returned with the following news. Liu Yuanzong pledges allegiance to General Chu, along with the entire court of Tang. The conflicts at the southern, northern, and Gangwang gates have stopped. The rebels of the Central Army have been captured. We are awaiting General Chu to deal with them. As the palace gates opened, the entire court of Tang stood beneath the jade steps of the palace. As the sun rose high up in the sky, exemplifying Tang's return to a bright future ahead, Chu Qiao held the emperor's hand as they walked up the jade steps, slowly. Long live the emperor. The golden rays of the sun shone on her black outfit. The word Xiuli was faintly visible on a reddish-white ensign. As the winds blew, the landscape appeared desolate once again. "Aunt!" the emperor called out crisply as he pointed to the golden chair, cowering in fear. Frowning, he continued, "I don't want to sit there." Chu Qiao squatted and caressed his face gently. That seat was made by the flesh and blood of thousands of people. You belong there. Your parents died for it. The Liang Empire lies in your hands now. Everyone here, including your ancestors above in the sky, is looking at you. You cannot refuse this responsibility." The emperor was visibly startled by her words. He tugged at her and asked, "What about Auntie? Don't you want me anymore?" Chu Qiao helped him up the throne as she said quietly, "Auntie will help you, but you have to shoulder some things yourself ultimately." Chu Qiao turned around as everyone present kowtowed to pay their respects, startling the birds who were circling above the sky. They did not know who they were paying their respects to. Was it the young prince on the throne, or the young lady who had command of the Wolf and Julie armies? There was not a single moment of peace and calm, just like it had been all this while, amidst the mind games that were playing out on this joyous occasion. As the dust behind this debacle settled, the next move of this game of chess had been made. There was no longer any more room to back out. Xiaocha, rest assured. The days turned colder as the seasons progressed deeper into autumn, and even the passing winds were tinged with the smell of chrysanthemum. The lotuses in the Taiching pond had long ago withered, with the wilted sycamore leaves flooding the entire pond. The whole hall seemed quiet, like an undisturbed lake, as Sundi's voice rang out in the deafening silence. And like the smell of incense, his voice lingered beside everyone's ears. Princess Yunkang, Rank 1 Lady Huayang, Lady of Runan, Lady of Duangying, Lady of Jinggan, had all indicated their willingness to take care of the emperor. In addition, King of Runan, King of Duangying, King of Jinggan, Master An, Master Yun, had all indicated their loyalty. The court is now split into two, with the generals mostly supportive of the King of Jinggan, whereas the administrative officers were mostly in favor of the idea that the three ladies are to groom the emperor together, and likewise the three kings are to supervise the ruling together. As the breeze blew past, the plants outside the windows were swaying. Sitting on the soft mat, Chu Qiao donned a white robe for indoors. As she leaned one hand on the window, she lifted her chin as she looked on at the night sky that was decorated with sycamores. The broad sleeves were drooping down, revealing a segment of her snowy white arm. In her dark eyes, one could not tell what she was thinking. The cavalry general, Xie Shu, led 70,000 of the Southern Army and has already reached Sunset Mountains. They will be reaching the capital soon. This Xie Shu was a slave of the King of Jinggan, and with him bringing his troops over, this man must be guarded against. I ordered General Xu Su to guard at Hanshui, and even if Xie Shu recognizes the new emperor, he was to cross the Hanshui River alone, without all of his soldiers. Xie Shu, leaning on the window, Chu Qiao did not even turn her head around as she firmly continued. During the rebellion by the King of Luo, we had not heard anything from him. He suddenly became so patriotic? Sundi's voice did not waver as he replied firmly, "If we did not have a righteous cause, they would not be fully loyal. Such is only logical." Chu Qiao's eyes finally turned as she looked upon Sundi from the corner of her eyes. She had already guessed what he wanted to say, yet she did not give a definite reply, and merely turned around and observed the waves outside. For a long time, she did not speak. In addition, the son of Elder Liu, Liu Yuanong, had contacted me. He indicated that when the time is right, he would like to contact some of the old allies of the Liu family to assist you. Right now, all that they need is a good reason and an opportunity. Suddenly, there was a wave of hurried footsteps from beyond the palace.